There they go into the back. The blue line on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park, and Hayden King will find the winners for the weekend's racing.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Yes, hello and welcome to another big Talking Trots. It's great to be back. Our thanks to Hayden and Silky Moore for filling in for the last couple of weeks. And a big show. We work towards the Sales Classic finals on Friday night for the 2-year-old Colts and Geldings and the fillies. Also the Sales Classics for the 3-year-olds. And also, obviously, on Sunday, we got the yearling sales out there at the Magic Million Complex at Middle Swan. And it's always a great time of year. And really excited about these younger horses coming through. And a man who's very excited is Glen Mortimer. Morts, your favourite time of year?
It certainly is, Michael, and it's great to be back. And I apologise for my voice this evening.
Well, I was going to say, you sound like someone from 0011. Glen Mortimer, ladies and gentlemen.
My friendly Martian. No, good to be back, Michael. It was a big night for our man Scott Bomber Hill last Friday night, up 5 units, and listening to the show, Glenn and Hayden managed to locate a few, gave a very good push for...
Much better than us.
Very good push for Vegas Strip, which was free money.
Oof.
What a
it
price.
Was free money.
Just couldn't believe that.
Almost even money into...
To about $1.24 or something. It was just...
Thanks for coming.
Put in, take out. So it's been a great week on the punt. It was a great night of racing last Friday night at Gloucester Park, as always. Copycat Queen kicked off the night at big odds for Hayden DeCampo, and that was after a very good push in the parade ring. For that, Might Have Time got a great run in transit after an early burn by Ira Poole and got over the top of our Shelley Beach. Flying Rumour wins again for the informed Mike Reid stable. They're going very well and they're going to play a very big hand this Friday night. Game over once Penny Tiger found the front in a soft lead time and a first quarter of 31.1. Thank you very much. Hotly pursued, too good for Big Gazza, rolling fire, but he tried hard, the big fella. Now, Navy Street landed the double for Hayden DeCampo at big odds, and of course I was on at the start before in Albany and it ran last and didn't follow up. And
didn't I hear about it for the next 2 days?
He just landed a big double at big odds there for Hayden DeCampo. Steno, she is racing in absolutely sparkling form.
Heading to Sydney.
I mean, she beat Wonderful to Fly, who's just a brilliant mare, but outstanding form, Steno. Lamandier and October Rain then brought up a race-to-race double for the very powerful Michael Young stable with Gary Hall Jr. in the bike, and Terra in Texas rounded out the night at the short quote with a very nice win. So the Mayor of Bunbury, Hayden DeCampo, double training effort and double in the sulky as well. The very powerful Michael Young stable got a double, and Gary Hall Jr. also got a double. Friday night down in Albany, Hayden Reeves got a double, and the very powerful Michael Young stable got a treble down there, so they had a great weekend. And also Corey Peterson got a double, and Stewie had a treble. Saturday night at Northam, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Team Bond got a double, and Denny Roberts. Sunday at Williams, I'm sure you watched. I know I did.
I tell you what.
You did because you were
Bomber Hill was tweeting. Yes, I was at home.
Yes.
Bomber Hill was tweeting, and I reckon he tipped the winner of just about the card at Williams and also Hobart.
I saw him tweeting out
He
at
was
Hobart.
seeing him like beach balls.
He was in great form. But down there at Williams on Sunday, Peter Anderson had a double, Shannon Savelko a double, and my man Trent Wheeler also got a double. Monday at Pinjarra, double to Ryan Warwick, driving very well. Hayden DeCampo got another double, and GP Tuesday night, Team Bond got a double, Denny Roberts a treble, Shannon another double, and Gary Hall Jr. another double. So that was a big weekend of racing, Michael. Very big weekend. Great weekend, and going to touch on a few of those races a bit later on.
There was also on Sunday the big yearling parade. Got a great crowd over the three studs that went and had a look, and the weather wasn't kind, but the reports are really good.
Yeah, looking forward to, as you alluded to earlier on, it's just one of the best times of the year. We've got the Sales Classic race this Friday night, which is great. It's always good watching the heats of the Sales Classic, see the new horses coming along, and of course on Sunday we get out there to the Magic Millions complex and have a look and see what we can buy. Make sure you
help JP by holding his book, not saying a word. Is that
correct?
Is that how you do it?
Just maybe get him a glass of water from time to time. But looking forward to Sunday, Michael. Always a good day, and always some very spirited bidding, that's for sure. So should be good.
All right, our guest tonight is Ryan Bell, and we're going to get to Ryan in just a moment, who's qualified 4 for the Colts, 2 for the fillies, which is just a magnificent effort. And for different owners as well. He did a sensational job from the sales last year. But tonight, Morts, and it is the last show for our man Hayden King.
Oh, please don't say that.
He's been with us since SEN.
He has.
When we're on SEN, he came across with us.
Yeah. And
I don't know whether that was a good career move.
No, and I'm sure at the start he was thinking, "Oh, what have I done?
What have I done?"
But it has been an absolute pleasure.
I've got to say, Hayden, we'll introduce you in just a second. We didn't know a great deal about you when you came through. You were coming through. You were starting to call races, and when Hutchie rang us and said, "I've got you someone," Hayden King with it. You didn't say much for the first 3 shows. No. I don't think you said anything.
No, I don't think you said a lot. But
even hello when we walked into the studios. But you've become an integral part of the show. And we'll say goodbye to you at the end of the segment, at the end, the last segment, because you'll do your normal tips. But it is your last show, and I think at the top we've got to thank you for what you've done and contributed to the show, because not only have you come on and you've given the country tips and added something different to the show that we didn't have before, you've filled in every time we've had to go away, which is often, taken a week off, which is not going to be the case anymore. But mate, first of all, welcome to the show, but also thank you for your contribution and going to the West, which I think is a fantastic career move for you, and I know you're going to do a great job. And first of all, thank you for your contribution and good luck.
No, thank you very much for having me along. It's been a long, long time. We've come a long, long way, but now the finish line is in sight.
Now, my only concern with Hayden leaving is that we may... Our swelling crowd, our swelling listeners of 15 or 16 may...
The people that talk to him in the gym is going to disappear.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the thing. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Your listenership will grow by 1 by me leaving.
Oh, well, you got to listen each week, are you?
I'll be there.
Oh, thank you.
You're so welcome.
I'm glad to hear that.
Sitting in the West with Ernie Manning on a Thursday night.
Yeah, I'll put it on the transistor, pump out some tab radio.
Yeah. I will say, Hayden, you've done an outstanding job. It has been a lot of fun working with you, and you've come up with some real quirky stuff,
yes,
and some real funny stuff, and you've not been scared to tip one at odds, which is what the feedback I've had is great, and done well with it. So good on you, and good luck in your new role. Absolutely no doubt you will kill it.
Yeah. My pleasure. No, thank you for giving me the opportunity to come along and not be too judgmental when I say some weird things. Invited me back the next week.
In fact, we encourage it.
Yeah, scary, but it was good.
Yeah,
that was great.
No, thank you very much. Really looking forward to the new endeavour. Obviously, it's a reluctant departure and something that comes with sadness. I would have liked to have kept doing this show among my existing work, but all good things must come to an end, and hopefully, I'm hoping at least that it's the right move at the right time. So bye for now, but not forever.
No, well, we'll have Hayden come back and he can do his tips for the week. We're at Narrogin Friday night. So we'll get some tips from Hayden a little bit later on. But it's time to introduce our guest, Ryan Bell, who's got 4 in the Colts and 2 in the Fillies final, which is a magnificent effort from the sales from last year. And let's go back to 10 days ago or 9 days ago, where Copperhead Lady for owner Albert Walmsley got the job done in one of the heats.
Next quarter, and Copperhead Lady has raced up to hit the front. Jax's Ideal, and also coming through in the middle is Repossession. Crunchy battles on in the straight though. Copperhead Lady's got the front by about 3 metres. Crunchy tries to fight. Jax's Ideal is on the outside, Can Do No More, and then Repossession, but Copperhead Lady is coming right away for Symington and Ryan Bell, and Copperhead Lady by 7 metres to Crunchy, 5 metres away.
Yeah, she was very impressive, Copperhead Lady. She comes off the back line tomorrow night, but it's a big welcome to her trainer, Ryan Bell. And Ryan, first of all, congratulations. You go to the sales and buy these yearlings, but to get 4 in the Colts and 2 in the Fillies, it's a magnificent achievement, and congratulations.
Yeah, cheers, fellas. Good afternoon. Yeah, it is. We're pretty chuffed with our efforts. It's aided by some 2-year-olds that, I don't think any of them are stars, but they've all got good racing manners and a good will to be out there, which makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah, look, it's a great time of year, and you base your business, a lot of it seems around buying these yearlings and bringing them through. So to get them through to these 2-year-old finals is what you aim at, I suppose, and to be a competitive part in them.
Yeah, it is. We prefer to buy yearlings, especially local ones. In my way of thinking is I can create the horse. I've had a go at a few from New Zealand. When I say a few, about a handful. And to my luck, every time one's come off the plane, the first thing I notice is they've got no feet. So I'm kind of filthy on the Kiwis, as you can imagine.
Well, you can always tell a Kiwi, you just can't tell them much.
Yeah, I've got some good mates that are Kiwi, and don't worry, we let them know. So the yearlings, I don't know. It's just we enjoy it. Like the last couple of years, we've always shut up shop over Christmas and then concentrated on getting these horses to the sales. And, this year was a lot harder than normal, given the heat waves that we have been going through and all that. It was touch and go, and about 6 weeks ago I was starting to wonder whether we were going to be competitive enough, and it wasn't up until the week of the sales heat that the way they all worked, they all gave me a bit of confidence that they'll put their best foot forward, and they all did.
Certainly did, and as Michael said earlier on, it's a great effort, Ryan, and you should really be congratulated for and to. So well done on that. In that 2-year-old fillies race, we played in with Copperhead Lady. Was a very good win first up. That first half in that race was pretty quick, 28-2 and 27-7. Drawn behind another good chance in the race in Highview Heidi, and then you've got Better on Pip, which was a very good win first up in Narrogin, and then ran a good second to Ruby Lou from the Breeze, who's well fancied in this race as well. So you've got a really strong hand in this 2-year-old fillies race. Yeah,
we do. They're two nice fillies. I think going forward, Copperhead Lady's probably the one. I've really liked her from the get-go. She looks like a mature, seasoned 3-year-old filly. She's as lazy as hell. I've never come across a Sweet Lou, let alone any type of horse that's lazy like her. She's unbelievable, I wouldn't read too much into that. They only run home in 31 because that was her pricking her ears and trying to look for other horses alongside her, But Kyle said she went past the other horses so easy, but made hard work of it when she was out on her own, which is what she's like at home. Like even jogging her, we have to carry a shillelagh just to keep her mind on the job, So she going forward, I think she's the one to really look out for. And Better Get on Pip, well, she just keeps getting better and better each time she goes out. Kyle was a wee bit filthy on his drive. He drove to qualify, which I'm happy for. But he said if it was just a normal other race, he probably would have eyeballed the leader a bit because she is a bit of a roller. So if Better Get on Pip can find the front, we're pretty confident that she'll be awfully hard to beat if she did get beat. Yeah, her work since the heats has just really come on each hobble run, and I'd be pretty shocked if she found the front and she got beat.
Cole's your obviously number one driver these days. Did he have the choice between Better Get On Pip and Copperhead Lady? Can we draw a...
Yeah. There was much. So we always pick our ones when we get them back. We got them back their third or fourth prep off of Dean Miller. And we every year since Cole's been working for us, I've told him he has to pick. And you got to stick with him during the whole prep and all that. But I'm the one that gets to jump off when I want, when I don't.
Of course,
and
you're the
I
boss.
get the final say. And he's always chosen Control the Room and Better Get On Pip, and I've always chose Charivari and Copperhead Lady. So where after they worked on Wednesday, they both worked with older horses, and he drove all 2-year-olds this week. And he was like, oh, I don't know if I've made the right choice. I said, well, have you made a choice? He goes, oh, I don't know. And so I said, well, you've got to make up your mind. And he literally flipped a coin, and it ended up Better Get On Pip. So I think the barrier draw might have persuaded him a bit more, because once he studied the form a bit. But, yeah, the way they both worked on Wednesday, I was glad it was him that had to choose and not me.
And actually, Better Get On Pip's owned by Tim Gossage, who actually came out to the sales last year.
Yeah, he was sitting right behind us, and as soon as we knocked her down, it was quite a funny story. Tiff, she owns What Are the Odds, who's a betting line as well, and What Are the Odds is my worst nightmare, and she just absolutely loves that horse, and she's always wanted a black betting line filly, and she's been searching across Australia for the right one, and she reckons she found the right one, and yeah, I'm going to have to give her credit for this one.
Well, there's certainly nothing wrong with that. No. Now, as we see, you've got a very strong hand there in the 2-year-old fillies race, but earlier on in the night in the 3-year-old fillies, you've also got a very good charge there, Atlantic Gem. Down by the seaside, Better's Gem, so nicely bred, 3 starts for a win and a place. Drawn the 7, a little bit of a sticky draw. How do you see her chances?
Yeah, very slim, Mort. The draw hurts, and she's still relatively new to the caper, and we've had a few issues as a 2-year-old with her, and she's slowly getting back. And she went good last start. She got caught behind the tiring horse and then went between runners and got squeezed out of it, even though the stewards couldn't see that. And once again, and she ran on quite well. So we're pretty chuffed, but the draw has really put us back in our place. It looks hard for her.
Yeah, it looks hard. I watched the first up run at Bunbury when she managed to hold out more sass, and thought she looks like she's got a bright future. But as you said, with the draw, makes it hard. Waterloo, exceptional armour. It's a pretty nice field, but anyway, you're probably going to get plenty of success in the night, so it's all right if you get rolled in one. But
then you're right. You're confident.
Now we come to the Colts and Geldings 2-year-old final, and you've qualified 4. Robbie Williams has qualified 2, and you can throw in Aiden Acampo with the better side, who didn't get much luck in the heats. But tell you what, this is a cracking 2-year-old race, and it's very even. And obviously we've only seen them go around once or twice, but I tell you what, the barrier draw is not too bad for you. 1 and 10 for your 2 main chances, but Robbie's horses seem to have a lot of speed, and we just don't know what Aiden's can do from the run. So it's an interesting affair, isn't it?
Yeah, well, just on Aiden, stop feeling sorry for him. He created his own luck by handing up, so it's his own fault. Don't feel pity on him. I told him that as well. It's his own fault for handing up.
Well, you can tell him that when you hand in the reins to your 2-year-old fillies as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll let you do that. We'll let you do that.
Yeah, no, Charivari, he's actually a real nice horse, but I think those 2 stones between his legs might be getting in the way a bit. He's just not concentrating on the job a bit.
What, a gear change?
Yeah. he I think I wouldn't discount him though. His work, his run was good, but he still didn't show that zip and wouldn't run past them in the thing. And in saying that, like Robbie's horse seems to be a nice type, and we only went down by a head. So I suppose that's all you can do when you're sitting outside them, isn't it? But it was the slowest of the 3 heats. Good ability, and the fact that he's drawn one and got junior on really brings him into a top 4 chance.
I was going to say, he's got a pretty fair driver on board. Is he the Warrawee Needy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah,
Now, I really do think he's a really nice horse. I just, he's still working good enough, especially now that he's drawn one. But 6 weeks ago, I thought he was my top seed, but he just doesn't seem to have his mind on the job at the moment.
Okay.
Hasn't got his mind on the job. You've done pretty well in that race, Ryan. You've got Junior, Ryan Warwick, Dylan Edgerton Green, and Kyle Symington. It's not a bad. It's not a bad lineup.
Kyle and I sat down and we're like, oh, what do I do? And I said, well, I better choose drivers now because not many of the good ones have a drive in it. So we nominated them on straight away so that they knew they had a drive. And yeah, we did get lucky. So.
Yeah, well, Albert Wansley horses are obviously qualify well. He owns the favourite in the fillies, but Control the Room, by Control the Moment out of Miss Madoff, he was pretty good when second to Louis V. Is he probably, well, if you think Charavari's got some issues with his, the way he's thinking, is he the best chance, Control the Room?
Yeah, I think so. And it's not a bad draw. I don't think he's a breeze horse and he stuck to his guns really well the other day. He just got on a knee out the gate a little bit, so we've put a lug and pole on him. We've tried I'm not one to change their shoeing or anything. So we tried putting a one-legger spread on him and he just wouldn't go a yard, and so we've left it off and just put a pole on him so we'd stop him from turning his head. And I think you'll see a much better horse this week, especially if there's a bit of pressure early and he can get a clean run through them at the start. And yeah, from what he shows us at home, his last 6, he can really reel off a good sectional the last 600 metres, and I think you'll find that he'll be closing late.
I like the sound of that.
It is crunch time. He surprised me a little bit. It was the slowest heat, but he did go quite good, and his work since has been better than what it was leading into the heats. And Wicked Hustler, well, he's just as honest as the day is long, and again, I think he's going to be better when they get up over 2100. But yeah, they're 4. None of them are superstars, but if any of them get any racing luck, they can definitely run top 4 or 5.
Certainly the 7 and the 8 doesn't help Wicked Hustler, and it is crunch time. But Control the Room and Charivari, good push there for Charivari to develop once he gets his mind on the job. So Control the Room, and then we head into the fillies, which you're well suited at. Then you're going to round out the night for us, Ryan.
Hopefully you're celebrating for the couple of races in between the last.
Because you'll be
get someone else to gear it up for you.
Because you'll be celebrating in the after the last, that's for sure. I thought was good first up in a really good field, and they came home in 27.6 and 27.2. Couldn't make any ground. But he's a nice horse, Franco Encore. Second up there Friday night over the 21.30. Fairly confident, Ryan?
Yeah, obviously he's only having, what's this, his 7th or 8th start, and he's drawn a bit poorly, and he's got real good ability, this horse, but he's a bit precious. We need to guide him a little bit and make him realise he can actually do it. So this doesn't look like an overly strong field. I think the 1 and the 2 might be trying to cross and hold out each other early, which will bring us into it. But yeah, he's got good speed, so if he's close enough and they're bunched up at the 400, I actually do expect him to outsprint them.
Yeah, he's a nice horse. Got a lot of time for that horse, so hopefully he can round out the card for us there on Friday night at Gloucester Park.
And before you go, Ryan, news this week that Shockwave is going to be retired. He was an absolute star on the track, Golden Nugget winner. Probably got cut down in the peak of his powers and was set to, I reckon, dominate WA racing. You've tried him a couple of times, but you've decided with Kevin Jevons to retire the star.
Yeah, he wasn't far off well, he was pretty much ready, and then we had a little bit of a setback, and you know, it was just little issues. Rad's like he just there was stuff that we could have poked and prod and made him comfortable and all that, but our gut. I rang Kevin. I said, look, I just can't do it anymore. Like, it's achievable, but we just didn't think it was fair. So we decided to just pull the pin. I think it was made easier given the fact that he's a Mark III, and he's quite a well-credentialed racehorse. As a Mark III locally, I think he should do good as a stallion. And I think if we do go down that path, there's still a lot of water to go under the bridge with fertility testing and all that stuff. But you know, our gut feeling, we just couldn't do it to him. And we had to make the decision, and we made it. So
yeah, he's a magnificent-looking horse. He's, you know, he just kept on getting better. Like, he was a really good 2-year-old, really good 3-year-old, but really come of age at 4 and 5. And unfortunately, we really didn't get to see the best of him, because I think he could have dominated, you know, even going east to race in the real big races. But I know it's been because you've had him in and out a number of times, Ryan, and you're right. It gets to a point where you've just got to do the right thing by the horse.
Yeah, exactly, and it was all little problems. Like, it's amazing how many horses from other people, like, they do one major problem back, and then for the rest of their life they've always got niggly problems, you know. And I went through the same thing with Shinzi Buller. He did a pedal bone, and then after that he had nothing. Problems, and this horse, ever since he's gone amiss, he has nothing but joint problems, you know, and not joint problems where they ruin him. It's just we just don't want to poke and prod him. That's as simple as that. Yeah. So it's disappointing, but we've got good memories, so that's the main thing.
No.
And lot 455, the Sweet Lou filly, should attract a fair amount of attention on Sunday.
Yeah, she should. She's a cracking filly too. She really looks like double espresso, and probably, if anything, I would say she's quite a nicer confirmation of what double espresso was at the time. And look what double espresso did. She was a really good mare.
Absolutely.
You got to look at double espresso. She beat the boys a couple of times too, and beat them fair and square as well. Yeah. So, good family, good honest family.
Yeah, certainly is. And you've been doing a lot of work on. I imagine you have been doing a lot of work in the lead up to Sunday.
Yes, it's a very busy time of the week, and made even busier by the numbers we qualified. And when you're dealing, you've got Kevin and Albert and a few syndicate, and then you've got Tiff, who's the biggest sale day maniac I've ever come across. And, it's a lot of numbers and horses to look at, that's for sure. But we love it. And yeah, we can't wait to get there on Saturday. Literally, as we speak, I'm in the middle of narrowing down my list and going from there.
Did extremely well last year, and got no doubt you'll do well again.
You'll be buying horses to offer to owners outside of again that you did this year.
Yeah, 100%. Anyone is welcome. We enjoy our 10%, 5% owners. We have a fair few of them, and we've advertised a bit this year, and Tiff's put some flyers out on social media, and if anyone hasn't seen it, they can always contact me on my number or my email at bellspacingstable hotmail.com. Had to think for a bit there. And we've got a few people already interested that want to join a syndicate, and there's a lot of double Westbred horses that are worth people looking at this year as well. I think the double Westbred is just it is the best breeding scheme around Australasia, and that's coming from people who live in Melbourne and everything. So, if that's the way people want to go, that's the way we go. There's a horse for everyone is the point I was getting to.
Yeah, no doubt there is. And tipping if they just go up and see you on Sunday, you'll be able to steer them in the right direction, mate, or otherwise contact you through either social media or email, as you said, and get in touch and make sure you're racing with the best. Good on you, mate. Thank you for your time. And we'll see you tomorrow night, and good luck.
Anytime, fellas. Appreciate it. Cheers.
There we go, Ryan Bell. What a magnificent achievement. 4 in the Colts, 2 in the fillies. When you go on the sales to buy these horses, this is what you want to do.
Certainly do. He's got a very good record, both as a driver, over 500 winners as a driver, and closing in on 300 winners as a trainer. And you just got to look at those fields on Friday night, and you can see that he's a very talented horseman when it comes to not only just training but finding them as well. And outstanding record to have so many qualifiers. So wish Ryan all the very best on Friday night.
Always gives his time as well.
He's very good.
Yep. And tell you what, there's not too many better than looking at yearlings.
Now, you forgot to ask him a question, Michael.
What's that?
Forgot to ask him about the Pinjarra Cup.
We've just got it through.
Right.
I didn't want to upset him. We've got the Pinjarra Cup through. The $50,000 Pinjarra Cup on Monday, sponsored by WA Country Builders. It's over the 2692 metres, Morts. Here is the barrier draw. Al Capone, drawn 1. Armour Einstein. Ideal Agent, Dylan Edgerton Green. Minstrel, Denny Roberts.
Ooh.
Lavra Joe is back. Jaws of Lincoln with Gary Hall Jr. and Magnificent Storm has drawn the outside.
Wow. That's
the front line.
Not a bad front line there, Michael.
Inside the back line, Penny Tiger. Magnificent, Mighty Ronaldo. Hasn't engaged a driver as yet with Emily on the sideline.
No, if I get my weight down, I might.
Tricky Mickey with Madison Brown and Galactic Star round up the 12. First reserve Swing Band. Second reserve Cordero. A bit unlucky, Swing Band not making the field.
Bit unlucky.
Well, very unlucky. You would have been in mine.
Very stiff and should have been in the field.
Now
his run first up.
Oh, it's very good.
His first up run in a very good field from Barrier 9, I thought was.
And I think we'll be seeing him in the
job.
Nullarbor coming up. But that's Monday, public holiday Monday. You'll be there.
Absolutely.
You'll be there. You got 2 in. Mighty Ronaldo, Tricky Nicky. Gee, what? Mighty Ronaldo was fantastic first up.
He went enormous, yeah. And Tricky Mickey just keeps stepping up to the plate, and
doesn't he?
It was a really good win.
But that front line, Ideal Agent, Minstrel, Lavra Joe, Magnificent Storm.
I think there might be a bit of pressure at some stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And early.
I think so.
And early. Being some great Pinjarra Cups as well.
It's interesting. Magnificent Storm is first up, but we know how good he is. So he can never ever be underestimated in any race. But he is first up.
Yep.
Over the 26.92. Lavra Joe coming back off a bit of a let up. Minstrel in just probably career best form.
Yep.
I would have thought.
Yeah, well, he's back to his best anyway.
Yeah, and Ideal Agent, we know how tough he is.
Penny Tiger behind. Like 3 pegs for him is going to be fantastic.
Oh, perfect.
For a speed horse.
Yeah, we've got a cheats lane down there as well.
They do. So you get a run.
Yep.
Well,
so
should get a run.
Should be a great race.
Yeah. Now we mentioned the Perth APG sales. They're on this Sunday at Middle Swan, the Magic Millions sales complex. Tell you what, it's as good a catalogue as I've seen in WA since I've been here. It is. Like on paper, really, really good. Some of the pictures I've seen look. Not that I know what I'm looking at.
Just make sure they've got 4 legs, Michael.
4 legs, I've counted.
4 legs.
I've counted.
Yeah. No, it is a good book.
It's going to be a great day. The parade last Sunday seemed to go off really, really well. Plenty from some of the styles out there as well. So the big thing that's happened, there's last few years we haven't had some of the big commercial size here in volume, but I think there's 6 or 7 always be Mickey's, 6 or 7 American Ideals.
Some Sweet Loos.
And there 2 last year, both went for the top money.
Yeah.
Couple of Art Majors, 3 Better's Delights, I think. And we in New Zealand, every time they brought out a Better's Delight, it was and also first season size like Tall Dark Stranger went for really good money in New Zealand and the East Coast. He's first up as well. So
there's some Poster Boys in there as well.
Poster Boys, of
course we've got
Captain Crunch has had winners. Yep. So he's actually got to the track last year, first season. He's got to the track, had winners, and we've seen Captain Sterling go those great sections in his trials as well. That didn't make it to the sales race, but he's shown that much ability. So on paper, really, really good.
Yeah, it should be a good day. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to the happy hour. It's always good.
No, Rara putting on Trots WA the barbecue before the sale, the hour before the sale. The other year we lined up with Hayden Charles.
Yes, we did. Yep, he's a listener.
He's one of 16.
Yep. I think we need to do a recount, Michael. I think we might be up to 18.
Oh, jeez. That's optimistic. Now, this segment, Morts, is brought to you by Steel Blue Boots, built for comfort, made for work. 730 stockists nationwide, and they are a mark of true skill.
They certainly are. They are designed for comfort, durability and choice. And as we know, they are backed by a 30-day, 100% comfort guarantee, which is just a useless piece of paper because it's not needed. Yes. They are just so comfortable, be it the more casual or the work boot. Not that I wear the work boot.
No.
But
no.
They are very comfortable. And Steel Blue, gee, they've been around a long time.
All the GP staff wear them.
Been around a long, long time. They are a mark of true skill, a bit like their owner.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, it's time for a break. Now, we spoke to Ryan about his champion that's retired, Shockwave, and what a horse he was. I mean, we didn't really get to see the best of him.
No.
But what he did on the track was certainly exciting. Only had the 50 starts, 22 wins, 17 minor placings for $567,000 in prize money.
And how clever am I, Michael?
By Max Reed, who the ill-fated Max Reed, who is the greatest sire line going around. Of course, the sire of Sun Beach, the sire of Captain Treacherous, who then, it's the Max 3 is the great sire line, and if he does go to start, I'm tipping there's going to be plenty of people that want to go to him. And I tell you what, as far as lookers, he was as good a looking horse as you'll find.
And of course, I backed him once. You know when that was?
when the protest upheld the
correct
in the 4-year-old classic.
Correct.
You should have backed up, because 2 weeks later he came out and he went around in the Retrovision Golden Nugget. And what a performance it was. As we go to the break, let's listen to Richie Bell calling Shockwave in the Retrovision Golden Nugget.
The Parada in front, Shockwave motoring. Sangreal can't get out around the turn. Shockwave is racing after Patrick, getting the split. Sangreal, he can't get out. Patrick's in front. Shockwave cutting him down. Patrick the Parada. Shockwave diving. Shockwave goes to Patrick. The Parada takes the lead, and a brilliant win to Shockwave. Shockwave has won by half a head to Patrick the Piranha. Third home, Sangreal.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
As well as out very wide, he's good as gold. Franco Mecca in the straight. Rolling Fire is racing after Hotly Pursued, but Hotly Pursued on the inside, responding well. Hotly Pursued in front. Rolling Fire can't get there. Hotly Pursued from Rolling Fire. Then Holy Hecker, and Hotly Pursued does it well to win by 2 metres to Rolling Fire. About 5.5 metres away.
156.6 he went for the Shandon Classic for the 4-year-olds. Hotly Pursued, a well-deserved win. Kyle Harper in front, Morts. Hard to beat.
Extremely hard to beat. Hotly Pursued's been in career best form, and of course Murray Lindor is
doing a great job, Murray.
Absolutely fantastic. And as you say, Kyle Harper in front. Geez, hard to beat,
isn't he?
Very hard to beat. No, it was great. Great win.
Yep.
Very good win.
Second horse was good. Rolling Fire.
I just stuck to the task.
Our fella.
Yep, stuck to the task, but the winner was too good.
I imagine they'll be back next month for the Pro Chevalier, which is a 4-year-old race again. So it's 50,000. So might be a few more 4-year-olds adding into that as well that are coming back. Mickey's Beach, is he around that time?
Yeah, don't know if he'll go there, but
around the Derby. Okay, but there might be a few more come back. Hawley's horses haven't come back yet, and we've got Bondi's got a couple, Lusaka and that. Shouldn't be too far away, I imagine, but Hawley's have got to be close somewhere. So, but yeah, that was a Shandon Classic. Hotly Pursued doing a great job. Now, Morts, this segment is brought to us by Retrovision, your local WA electrical appliance specialist, where RAC members receive an additional 5% every day. And can I ask you, how many air conditioners have you sold in the last month?
I must admit it's been fairly brisk when it comes to air conditioning sales. It's been amazing. No, it has been great. It's been a terrific summer, which has certainly helped business. It's been ticking along. But you talk about the RAC and how the members save 5% every day at Retrovision.
On the best price.
Correct. So explain that. You see it for $1,000 at JB. You come and see us at Retrovision. we do the 1,000 less the 5. So you're always 5% better off.
In front.
But during the week, we ticked over to $20 million. That is the amount of money we've saved RAC members since we've started.
Really?
Correct. 20 million.
Jeez.
Because we've got to. But $20 million. So it's a lot of savings.
What a great partnership between yourself and RAC.
Certainly has. So get into your local Retrovision store. Get out there and see the team at the new Ellenbrook store going beautifully.
All right, time to introduce our form expert, Scott Bomber Hill. Bomber, welcome to the program.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good week last week?
Yeah, a couple of winners there, which I think 3 winners last week, which allowed us to finish in front. So, good night and hopefully carried on again tomorrow night.
I can tell you Morts was starting to get a bit tired in New Zealand. The 5-hour difference started to take its toll.
It was a bit punishing.
Watched the first few at Alexandra Park in the Tabaret.
Yeah, but then it got a little bit late towards the end, although we did manage to watch the Lord Mayor's Cup.
Yes, indeed.
We didn't do too badly then. That's pretty good.
That's a bit late. But,
yes.
it was good. You've been in great form, Bomber. So hopefully we can continue that on tomorrow night at Gloucester Park on what is a great 12 race card.
It is APG night. APG finals for the 2-year-old Colts and Geldings worth $125,000. $125,000 for the APG fillies. Also, the $50,000 finals for the Colts and Geldings and one for the fillies. A big 12-race card starting with race number 1. We're going to preview both the fillies. Bombers found us the winner in both the fillies, and it might have contained our guest tonight as well. So we'll get into that in just a moment. But the first race we got to look at is race number 1. We haven't got a market for it as yet, but it's the Vale Jeff Wallace Pace. Morts, Jeff passed away this week, a life member of Gloucester Park, and we've named the first race after Jeff, a life member of Gloucester Park. Now, it's not a bad race to kick off the night. Dylan Edgerton Green drawn the pole with Illawong Mustang. Looks the favourite. Looks very hard to beat. Lupicello for Michael Young, the powerful Michael Young. We had a chat to him yesterday, Morts, you and me. We caught up with him. Our Shelley Beach, who's going really well post-game. The Mickey Taker, we know how good this horse is. He's very, very good. And then inside the back line, we've got Galaxy Warrior, State of Heroin, also off the back line with BJ's Boy. Bomber, which way are you going in the first?
Yeah, and with Illawong Mustang, Rads, he's in career best form, and despite there being plenty of speed to his outside, I think he can hold up. And even if he doesn't, he's certainly not hopeless. He's done plenty of racing from behind, more of his racing from behind than in front, but he's got a really good record in front. Although if he did hold and can pinch a breather through the middle stages, he's going to take plenty of running over. His last 2 times he's drawn one, he's led and won, and showed late last month he can run a pretty fast mile when he came from near last in a 1:54 mile, and he was actually in front about 20 metres after the line there. And then he dashed home in 55.5 when he led and won over the 21:30 in late December, and you could definitely say he's going as well now as he was then. So I think he'll give us a huge sight in the first.
Certainly the journey helps him, Bommy. Like I said, I apologise earlier on because I sound like my favourite Martian.
It's the cough syrup that he's drinking.
I've lost my train of thought, but Bomber, the distance in the first race over the 1,730, you would think that if Illawong Mustang got to the lead would be very hard to beat. A couple of nice chances there in our Shelley Beach and the Mickey Taker, just out a little bit wider.
Yeah, I thought that, there is some speed outside of him, no doubt about it. He's no certainty to hold up, but I think he'll give himself a pretty good chance of keeping his legs underneath. And as I said, he'll give us a big sight regardless of whether he's in front or behind the leader.
He's certainly got somebody very good on board steering him, so that's going to help in race 1, Bomber. Horse number 1, Illawong Mustang for Dylan Edgerton Green. What's the staking plan here?
Yeah, 2-unit bet. Morts has said he's in super form, and I think he's probably going to get his chance here.
All right. The next race we're going to look at is the first of our big races. It is the $125,000 APG WA 2-year-old Colts and Geldings Sales Classic Final over the 1730 metres. Heats were 9 days ago at GP on the Tuesday. Let's have a look at the Tab Touch market. Tab Touch, the brand that funds the industry. It's been up for a couple of days, a little bit of movement. Charivari, open 340 out to $4. Mr. Moonwalker, the first of Robbie Williams' duo, 480 into 350 and currently favourite. The Merrymaker, $34. The Better Side, $440, pretty solid. Float My Boat, $81. Louis V, the second of Robbie Williams' pair, $5 to $480. Wicked Hustler at $41. It's Crunch Time at $51. And outside the front line is the last hard copy at $126. Then the only runner off the back line, saying without the emergencies, is Control the Room, and he's been very solid. He's at $3.70 for Ryan Bell, and we spoke to Ryan, and he thought that Control the Room probably came through the heat a little bit better than Charivari, who's thinking about other things at the moment or just struggling to keep his mind on the job, currently at $4. So it's virtually Bell versus Williams with the Campo in there as well. Bomber, which way are you going?
Yeah, I thought Control the Room was one of many very good runs from the heats, but he's had to do the bullocking work at both his runs to date, and the effort's taken its toll just late. But despite that, he's been very good in both. And I don't think he'll finish any worse than 3 pegs here. And many of these, big dollar feature races have been won from that position. So I think, they'll run it pretty quickly, and I can see some in the running line struggling from the 600. So if he gets into the clear, I expect he's going to savage the line, and some pretty tight horses late. So, had he have drawn a marble, this bloke, I was pretty keen to launch in at a short quote, so more than happy with the price.
Ryan Bell was fairly confident too that this was the pick of his 4, as Michael said. Charivari, he's got a good opinion of, but just got his mind elsewhere. He is very, very keen and Control the Room. And to your point, Bomber, was if he gets a peek at him over that last, 400 to 600 metres, and he's close enough, he'll be very, very hard to hold out. So race number 7, horse number 10, Control the Room, Ryan Bell, driven by Kyle Symington. What's your staking plan here, Bomber?
Yeah, 2-unit bet more, so because he's a horse that's probably going to go on to pretty good things, and you really liked his first 2 runs, so just think it's that case of a little bit of luck, and he'll give us a good run for our money.
I think he certainly will.
All right, it's time to take a break. We're going to come back and preview the Fillies race next. But as we go to the break, we mentioned Penny Tiger. Inside the back line in the Pinjarra Cup on Monday, the WA Country Builders Pinjarra Cup, and that looks a perfect draw for him, Morts.
Penny Tiger is going to be a dangerous horse in any race he races in, because he's got amazing gate speed. But like you said, if he gets 3 back on the pegs and gets a sight at him, and they've gone a little bit hard early, he's certainly going to play a very big part in it. Yeah,
and his trainer Michael Brennan actually bought the first slot in the APG sale in Sydney on last Sunday. A filly, as I look at the book, by Better's Delight out of Ultimate CC, flew over, took it, went home, and already syndicated, which is testament to the fact that. He does very well. Yeah, fantastic. All right, as we go to the break, let's go back to last Friday night where Penny Tiger crossed to him, and once he crossed, he was always going to be awfully hard to beat.
Around the turn, he's holding Penny Tiger back. It leads Franco Ecuador, and then Classic Choice and Armour Rhinestone. Penny Tiger clear. Franco Ecuador is trying very hard. Penny Tiger the leader. Franco Ecuador won't get there, and Penny Tiger does it all the way by 4 metres to Franco Ecuador and 6 metres Al Capone. 2 metres away.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Here's Steno now, after Wonderful to Fly around the turn. Steno has raced up to Wonderful to Fly, and they're clear from Rumour Has It, Cyclone Charlotte, but Steno and Jocelyn said, go girl, and away she goes. Steno streaking away from Wonderful to Fly, Rumour Has It, and Steno wins easily. Steno by 7 metres.
Well, she was a short price, but most people, I think, expected her to lead, Morts. That wasn't the case.
That was a surprise.
That wasn't the case. Jocelyn ducked in behind Wonderful to Fly. But when Shane let her slide, Steno got off and just proved too strong in the end to win by 2 lengths on the line. And she's heading to Sydney, Steno.
Yeah, she's in sparkling form. Won last 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, very, very good form. And
has got good form in Sydney as well. Like, she was raced there before and she's come over and done really well, but racing at the peak of her powers. Bred and owned by Diane and Bernie Kelly, who are wonderful people over there in New South Wales, from a really great breed. Her mother, Lady Waratah, is a great producer, and the whole family's just superstars.
Yes, no, looking forward to seeing how Steno goes. But Friday night beat a very nice horse and Wonderful to Fly.
Yeah, very
One
good.
of the best mares we've seen race in WA for a long time, and managed to get over the top of her. So she's in great form. She'll acquit herself very well over there.
She sure is. Before we preview the APG 2-year-old fillies final worth $125,000, this segment, Morts, is brought to you by our great mate, the Nude Nut at Loans 123. Car loans, debt consolidations, all your personal finance. Who do you see?
Steve Sell, the Nude Nut from Loans 123.
Yeah, loans123.com.au or 1800
100 100. Still doing things the banks can't, and I got to tell you, Michael, on Saturday night, not required.
It wasn't.
No.
After the Village Kid Sprint.
Could have given Steve a loan myself after that. It was great.
Yeah, but if you do need anything as far as car loans,
he's your man.
Yeah, anything to do with those type of loans, he'll look after you. All right. The next race we're going to look at is our second big final of the night for APG, the 2-year-old fillies, over the 1730 metres. And let's have a look at the Tab Touch market, which went up a couple of days ago. We got Highview Heidi, 420 to 330, and is currently the favourite. Repossession at 101. Better Get On Pip at 390. Got out to 440 into 390. Crunchy, who is going to continue to develop, is 460 to 420. Ruby Lou, a heat winner, $10 to 650. So a bit of movement in this market. Jack's Ideal for the very powerful Michael Young. Wonder if they're spec'd at 81 into 34. Stella Deliziosa, is that how you pronounce it?
Stella Deliziosa.
Deliziosa.
It's okay. Richie had some trouble down there at Narrogin as well. And then he I'll tell you the story. He got a voicemail from our man Russell T. Betts, and he committed that to memory. He just played the voicemail over and over again. And it was like some kind of, I don't know, they probably do it in North Korea as a torture device, but there's no way he could get
Richie would have loved it.
Stella Deliziosa out of his head now, so he'll be set for tomorrow.
He would have loved it. $34. Bull Shark Betty, geez, wasn't she impressive in the heat? $650. Outside, but drawn 8. Outside the front line, Winter Wonder. Morts, how are you feeling?
Yeah, it's going to be very, very challenging from out there, Michael, but she's a nice filly.
Had her support, 81 to 34. And
Nice
we've got
filly.
one runner off the back line. It is Copperhead Lady, who was very, very impressive. And Ryan Bell said a lazy filly. I think the back line might actually help her a little bit here. $8.50 into $7. Bomber, once again, this is a really good fillies race. It's open. There's a couple of good performances in the heats, but I tell you what, this barrier draw has made it really interesting. Which way are you going?
Probably 5 or 6 could win without surprising, but I thought Copperhead Lady looked to get a really good run through here on the back of Highview Heidi, which showed enough on debut to suggest she can hold up. And with Crunchy almost certain to go to the breeze, I'd say, and look to put some pressure on. She was very good chasing the tearaway leader last time, and I think she can afford to be driven pretty aggressively. So Copperhead Lady can sit off that speed as she did in the heat, and she let down really quickly. And I think with any luck in running late again, she can be very hard to beat at a good price.
Yeah, certainly a very good field, Bomber. This is a cracking race, this 2-year-old fillies final. Copperhead Lady, Better Get On Pip, the other one from the Ryan Bell stable. Ruby Lou in for some, in there to $6.50 out to $10. So going to be very, very competitive. Be very interesting to see how it unfolds. What's your staking plan here for race 8, number 10, Copperhead Lady, Ryan Bell and Hayden DeCampo?
Yeah, just the one unit more. She will need a touch of luck, but I just think with so many, such an even race and so many chances, the there's a potential there for them probably to go just a little bit quicker than they'd like, and she showed that won't bother her in the heat. So hopefully she can get over the top.
And just being on the rails in those 2-year-old races, boy, it makes a difference.
Well, he's got options as well. He can come off and do what he needs to do. So, but it's a really interesting final, and looks to be a bit of pressure there as well. So, horses wanting to go forward. And the final race we got to look at, we haven't got a mark. It is race number 9. It is the APG Perth Yearling Sale this Sunday, and it's over the 2130 metres. And we'll have a look at this. Never mind the chaos. For Michael Young and Gary Hall Jr. has drawn the pole and looks very, very hard to beat. Hopefully she's come back and she's fully fit, ready to go. Sugar Street, Barrier 3. Geez, I'm a big fan of this horse. A half relation by Captain Treacherous went through the sale in Christchurch. I think I bought 80,000 over there. It was really, it was a big fella and well conformed, but really a big fan of this Sugar Street. I think his numerical form is really good first up, second. I don't think his numerical form is how he's going. We've also got Middle Page and El Daytona in there, and Cyclone Charlotte, who's been going really great against these good mares.
Tell you what,
keeps on running into Steno Wonderful to fly.
Her run last start, she just never gave up. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah. And she's drawn 8 of 9 across the front over 21.30. Bomber, which way are you going in this interesting race?
Yeah, we're tipping blind on price here, obviously, but I thought given the draw, Cyclone Charlotte, you just touched on, she's flying and should be a good place bet here. I think given the draw and the class of the field, she'll get out to a decent enough price for the place, and I think she'll, draw obviously forces her hand. She has to go back, but her last 2 runs have just been phenomenal. She was never better than 3 wide the last 800 last time and ran 55.2 and just never stopped hunting the line. And then 54.4 the start before that from chasing Steno on both occasions. She comes here third up from a spell and thought she'd be absolutely spot on. And, never mind the Chaos and Regal Cheval, they could tangle up through that first 400. And regardless of what happens, I just think this mare will run into a hole from back in the field and, more than happy to back at the place.
Have to agree with you, Bomber. Her form has been outstanding. What sort of price should we be looking at for a place on Friday night?
I think given the draw and the class of the field, Morton, and the one's going to come up really, really short, I think that's $1.60, $1.70. We might even get better, but that'll be the bottom price I'd be looking to take.
So bottom price of $1.60 or $1.70, race 9 Friday night. Number 8, Cyclone Charlotte for Ray Williams and Aidan DeCampo. What's the staking plan there, Bomber?
Yeah, 3 units. Just really confident I'd like to see that early burn, which I think will happen, and then she can either come solo or home with a trail and get into a hole for us.
I like it.
Yep. All right, that rounds out the 4 races we get a preview. Bomber, have you got a multi for us tomorrow night?
I do. 3-legger, race 3, number 6, Rascal for the place. He'll put the value in. I think he'll appreciate the drop in grade, and he looks to follow the speed here, which he does really well. And into race 5, number 1, I think he'll just lead and win given the draw. And then race 11, number 8, Mickey Jett. He's an exciting type going through the grades, and I expect him to win as well. So if we can get Rascal home for a place in the first leg, we'll get a decent enough result, I think.
All right. Rascal or Rascal?
Rascal, tomato.
Depends which state you're from, I think.
I don't know where I'm from.
Indeed, you're very well travelled, Bomber. So race 6, number 3, a place, Rascal or Rascal. Race 5, number 1, 10 to the dozen, and wasn't he good first start? Wasn't he good last start when he led? And this looks a similar field and a similar proposition. And then you finish with race 11, number 8, Mickey Jett, who, as you say, going through the grades, owned by former race caller Steve LeVar, trained by Gary Hall Jr. And obviously Gary drives, and Steve was a really good race caller back in the 90s and 2000s.
Okay.
Is now in Singapore, I think, Steve LeVar. But anyway, so 3-6 a place, 5-1 a win, 11-8 a win as well. Bomber, thanks for your time. Hopefully your good run continues and our tab touch accounts are full to the brim.
Thanks, guys. And before I go, I'd just like to say congratulations to Hayden on his new role, and you'll be sorely missed, not only by this show, but in the birdcage on the numerous occasions you show up there and tell us what we need to be told. So, good luck, mate, and thanks for everything.
No, very much appreciated, Bomber. I'll miss everyone involved as well. Hopefully I'm never too far away. I'll be out there tomorrow night, and I noticed you didn't tip on the back foot, which is upsetting, but realistic.
Well, he probably spoke to you more on the show than we did, Bomber, so you might have to put up with us more often. Unfortunately.
We can handle that.
All right. Good on you, mate. We'll speak to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
All right. That is Scott Bomber Hill, who's going great guns at the moment. Hopefully it continues tomorrow night. I'm sure Ryan Bell hopes it continues.
He does.
After tomorrow night. Now, sorry, Bob.
Michael, I was going to say there's a big night of harness racing at Menangle on Saturday night.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it after the break or now?
After the break, we can.
After the break, we'll get.
So we can include Hayden in that because it was a great week of country racing too, and we can just get Hayden's thoughts on a couple of those as well. It'd be great.
We will. All right. Let's go to the break, Morts. We spoke about the 3-year-old Phillies final. We've got a couple going around. A few weren't around last week. Waterloo, who had to do it tough, and there was plenty of speed on Copycat Queen, had the sit on him and proved too strong.
Certainly did. Hayden DeCampo?
Certainly does. There certainly was $4, but drew away, ended up winning by 3 lengths. As we go to the break, here is Copycat Queen, the daughter of My Hard Copy, getting the first race last week.
Copycat Queen has raced up on the outside and taken the lead from Waterloo. Lenora Jane in a wing to the outside, battling on Miss Sharjah and Atlantic Gem, but Copycat Queen has burst away for DeCampo, had a soft trip and sprinted brilliantly from Waterloo. Atlantic Gem and Miss Sharjah battling out third, but Copycat Queen won easily over Waterloo, and third home, Atlantic Gem, I think.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
And Vegas Strip is about to corner in. Leading Louis Lebeau, Galaxy Warrior, Saphir and Feeling Aces. Vegas Strip though into the straight from Louis Lebeau. Galaxy Warrior, Saphir is into the clear, but off and gone the favourite Vegas Strip. Unmoved Roberts going to the line with Vegas Strip. The Village Kid winner by a length and a half. With Louis Lebeau and Saphir.
Yeah, the 3-year-old Vegas Strip. Who won the Golden Slipper last campaign. He's come back in fine fettle. They bet $2 or close enough to. Started 126. Got absolutely stripped. It was like being in Vegas. The bookies.
Yes, certainly was.
They absolutely got stripped by Vegas Strip into $1.26. And apt with the NRL this week, Morts, this Sunday in Vegas. I'll be having it on my phone as we're at the sales.
Who's playing, Michael?
Roosters and South, I think.
Right, okay.
No, Manly and South, and Roosters and Brisbane, maybe.
So there's 2 games there?
2 games, yeah. 2 games. So, hang on, I'll tell you. I should know. Where's Sully when you need him?
He was back. He was back today.
It's Manly and South and Roosters and Brisbane.
Yep.
And I'm tipping the 2 upsets. I'm going with Manly to beat South and Roosters to beat Brisbane. There you go.
There we are.
There we go. In the NRL tipping contest with Bomber Hill. But Vegas Strip, it got the cash, and tell you what, your bank balance is full, ready to go for this Friday night.
I would think not just me either, Michael. I would be a lot of certainly Hayden. and Silky gave it a bit of a push last week on the show, and it was pretty hard to go past.
And then on Sunday at Williams, pocketful of opals for Bianca Ashcroft and Kyle Harper, just winning on a broomstick at the moment. Kyle won the Williams Cup, the Williams Harness Racing Club Cup, over 66 metres.
I tell you what, it didn't want to be 1 metre more.
No. It doesn't matter. They don't pay on. The
one on the inside was making a lot of ground. That's for sure.
I'll tell you, Bomber was on fire as well. If you're on X, follow Hill Bomber at Hill Bomber, and tell you what, he was on fire Sunday, tipping and left and right. Declared one at Hobart, and I tell you what, it didn't want too much farther either. Right. But it was, I think it was $1.80 into $1.30.
Well,
God bless it.
Yeah. So, yes, Pocket Full of Opals didn't want another step either.
Yeah.
The other one was El Lucifer.
Yeah.
Almost lapped them in the last. Just about got past them again.
Yeah. For
my man,
a lazy 41.3 metre victory.
Yes, for my man Trent Wheeler and Peter Anderson.
Yeah.
Looked like a pretty good day there at Williams. The weather was pretty good out there.
Yep.
And it was another good night last Friday night also at Albany.
Yeah.
Henwood Bay. It was almost in the car park on the first bend. Was out that wide. It scraped all the paint off the outside, but managed to get to the breeze before it was too strong. And nice win by Storm the Beach for Katie Howlett and Aldo Cortopassi. Was 3 wide with a lap to go. Galloped just before the line, and I think it stopped galloping.
Just in time.
And I thought Diamonds Are Forever, a filly out of Fly Like an Eagle, was a good winner in the 2-year-old maiden for...
By Fly Like an Eagle.
What does... Oh.
Yeah. How are you going to help Justin if you don't know the terms properly?
For Luke Edwards and Ryan Warwick, that was a very nice win.
Yeah, it's the only thing I know.
And good to see Kim Young get a winner too.
Yep.
Known Kim for a while. He's a terrific bloke, so good to see him get a win.
Great fellas.
And, of course, another double to Rich American to seal the double for Ryan Warwick. He's driving well.
Now, before we get into our country tips or our provincial tips, this segment's brought to you by Bayswater Mazda. Driving is better on a Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Roads and Morts. Nobody knows that better than you as you drive the Turbo Mazda 6.
Now, I was listening the other day and they were talking about resale value of second-hand cars. And the number one resale value of second-hand cars was the Mazda 626. They are just a beautifully appointed car, Michael, and they drive so well. And the team out there at Bayswater Mazda, fair dinkum, they are the best.
And I'm tipping the Mazda 6 is going to be escorting us out to the Magic Millions complex on Sunday, as it did last year, I think.
It'll drop us off.
As it did last year.
Won't be in the car park when we come out, but it will drop us off. But beautiful car. Get out and see the team there at Bayswater Mazda. Great coffee, great service, great cars.
All right. Now, we've mentioned Gloucester Park. Friday night, first race, 5:07 of 12 races, obviously the APG finals.
Hang on, Michael. Sorry, forgot something.
Sorry.
Got a big shout out.
Don't you?
Got a big shout out.
Do you?
No, I do. Now, we were very lucky to meet a man over there at Woodland Stud.
Oh, yes.
Danny Blackmore.
Yep.
It was great to meet him. And, of course, Michael works down at GP.
Oh, yes, Blakemore. Of course, the Blakemore family.
Yes.
The whole Blakemore family was
I know,
there.
it was great. It was terrific to catch up with Danny. What a terrific bloke he was.
The whole
really
family.
Good. Yeah, they were. They were very good.
And Michael's sister was running around, ordering everyone around.
Yeah, and Danny was just doing his
he was
as
just
told,
making sure everyone else was okay.
No, so a big shout out to Danny. I'm sure he'll be listening. But no, it was great to meet him.
Yeah, you're a big star in New Zealand. We might have a couple of listeners over there. You walked in the room and people went, Glen Mortimer's here.
No, I think Danny might have a listen from time to time, but it was very good to meet him.
Yeah, I forgot to tell Michael that I met the rest of his family. I meant to text you anyway.
Nice.
Well, I've actually met Danny as well.
Have
he
you?
was at Gloucester Park probably 12, 18 months ago now, but yeah, he's been to GP.
Actually, when we met, Justin said, this is Michael. How are you doing? And Michael goes, what do you do? I said, I'm your son's boss. And he went, You're doing a great job, Michael, as well. Really great job at Gloucester Park. The track's in fantastic order, as you know, Morts.
Yes.
Really, really good.
I like Michael because he...
a lot of friendly people over there. Got to chat to the great Mark Purdon, Barry Purdon, chat to a few about different things. And Cran Dalgetty gave us a lift from the airport.
Now, there's a character.
Isn't he a great man?
There is a character. And his young
Carter.
son... Yeah, Carter. Nice people. But
it wasn't nice that Justin named his son after him.
Yes.
As Carter told him.
Very, very good. There was some people from WA across there as well, of course.
The Reeds.
Yes.
Gave us a lift one night.
And half of Team Bond was there.
Yeah, Team Bond, yeah.
And the running camel. So,
and plenty of WA. Albert Walmsley bought at least one online. Two online the first day.
Yes, he did. So it was good.
Yep, I think the Howletts might have bought one or two. So, it was great.
Yeah, they did on the second day there. I think the Howletts bought one.
Great.
Yep.
Good sale over there and good to catch up with the good people. Now, Gloucester Park, Friday night, APG finals night for the 2-year-olds and the 3-year-olds. First race 5:07. Now, also on Friday night, we've got the Narrogin meeting, which is a great support card to the Gloucester Park on the Friday night. 7 races. The first at 6:18 on Narrogin on Friday night. Then we go to Bunbury on Saturday night. 9 races. Spoke to Jonathan Calver.
Do I need to take a torch?
No, all the lights are ready to go. They're all ready to go. There was a little issue. It wasn't much at all, and they fixed them.
It's a shame because
it was.
Because they look great.
Yeah, we don't need to be losing means, but apparently all set to go. And the Bunbury Cup's coming up, Morts, as well. So 30th of March, I think. Bunbury Cup Saturday night. If you haven't booked, make sure you call Jonathan and the team. Book in. It's going to be a big night. You'll have a couple of runners.
It's going to be a great night.
And these 2 races now, the Pinjarra Cup, Bunbury Cup, great lead into the Nullarbor. And they will, shape the Nullarbor, which is fantastic for those 2 races, and why their position there is really good. And we're going to see the Pinjarra Cup Monday, Bunbury Cup a couple of weeks after that. So really good. So
it won't just help shape the Nullarbor.
No, it's great.
It'll provide so much for both of those clubs because the interest in that race on Monday, I imagine will be absolutely huge, and then the Bunbury Cup. So great exposure for both clubs. Should be terrific.
100%. Now, so first race 5:02. 9 races at Bunbury. Then we go to Pinjarra Monday. First race 12:33. Obviously, the feature is the WA Country Builders Pinjarra Cup. There's also the Pinjarra Trotters Sprint and a really good support card there at Pinjarra.
What is it, 9?
9 races. 9 races. And then Gloucester Park on Tuesday. 10 races at Pinjarra. 10 races Pinjarra. 9 races at Gloucester Park on Tuesday, the 1st at 4:17. All right. On his final appearance on the show, no pressure, because we will be reporting back next week on how you've gone. And you know what they say, you're only as good as your last winner. Your couple of years here with the show comes down to a couple of tips, Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure at all. Big weekend of racing. Where are you going to go first? Are you going to Blaze of Glory?
Yes. Yeah. I'm firing as many darts as possible.
That's outstanding. Yeah. That's what we want to hear. And we're going to start off at Narrogin on the Friday night.
Yes,
As
indeed.
I said, 7 races. The first race at 6:18. What have you got for us?
Start off in the first race. Don't know if you caught this horse's run last start, Bay Rock Boy, but he vanquished a few very honourable horses, including on the back foot, and that takes some doing. No, he went really well, Bay Rock Boy, last start at Albany. He was an absolute raving lunatic the entire race, but he still had enough in hand to hold off Del Boca Vista, and a Bay, that is, and tomorrow night...
Seinfeld. Is that Seinfeld? Is that the retirement home for his parents?
I don't know. I've never watched it. Matt McDermott's your man for Seinfeld.
Okay, sorry.
But anyway, leads. If he doesn't lead, you're holding him out at your own peril, and wins tomorrow night in the opening race there at Narrogin.
And you could not have left us without tipping on Michael Young horse.
So that's race 1, number
4.
Race 1, number 4 for Michael Young, the very powerful
Michael
and
Young.
Joey Savalco got the drive.
I actually had a dream about Joey last night.
Stop it. Stop it. Where are we going to go here?
I know it's your last show, Hayden, but please.
Go on.
Okay, so I was punting on this race at Menangle, and I was betting in the run, and this horse at the 400 was just absolutely cruising, and they were betting $6 in the run, so I chucked some money on, and it was just going to win, so I kept chucking more money on, and then I eventually had my entire account balance on it, and then so it bolted in naturally,
of course,
and then they never paid me out, and so I was wondering what the problem was, and eventually they ended up paying me back basically my stake. When I initially I'd had 700 or 800 on, so I should have been getting 4 or 5 grand back. And then so I storm into the headquarters of this betting company and I say, pay me out my money or cancel my account, one or the other. And they refused to pay me out. But in the process of getting paid out, I'd had 150 on a horse at Williams and it paid $7. So I had $1,000 in the account. So they cancelled my account. They gave me my $1,000 cash. And then I walk out the door and Joey Savalco's there. And he says, let's go to the tab and burn that cash. So
we
went to the
couldn't
tab.
have finished the show without something along the lines of that.
I'm done. That's perfect.
Thank you.
And then I
Hayden
actually
King
went back
dreaming about Joey Savalco and finding not only a betting organisation, but actually finding their headquarters. That's very hard.
I stormed in there and I was not taking no for an answer.
Yeah.
And then I went back to sleep after that. And then I had another dream about a girl I used to like. And
I don't think we need to get into that.
No.
finally, many years later, she was actually interested in me. So that's how you know it was a dream.
Yeah. All right. I think you should have left it at the first one.
Yeah. No, there was
a punting dream. All right.
There's nothing weird going on.
There we go. What a way to finish. What a way to finish our journey with Hayden King.
That'll be etched in my memory.
All right. Race 1, number 4. Bayrock Bay. What else you got for us?
Race 2, number 1, Elucifer. You talked about him. He won by how many cricket pitches? 4, 5?
About lapped him.
Yeah. Last start, he's drawn 1 over a mile. Looks perfect. Should be winning. That's race 2, number 1. And race 4, number 1, Franco Mecca. Quality horse, drawn the pole.
Back in grade.
Yeah. Looks his to lose. Race 4, number 1.
Good form line for Franco Mecca. Didn't he race against, was he in the Shandon last week behind Hotly Pursued and Rolling Fire?
Gazza.
Finished 5th, so you'd think the $1.45 is even luxurious on the harness.com. All right, Bunbury, Saturday night, the first race, 502. 9 races. Have you got something for us?
Yeah, race 2, number 4, Stirrup Jack. Hoping there's an okay price about this horse because he was first up for about 9 months there last time out at Bunbury. It has been 4 weeks between efforts, but he faced the breeze and he only emptied out really late. So providing he's come on in fitness, and I can see that being a possibility, he's going to be competitive in a low-level race. So race 2, number 4, Stirrup Jack. Race 4, number 5, Jingling Jules. Now, More Sass is going to be pretty hard to beat. She's big class dropper from Fridays, but Jingling Jules can run a place, or even if you're that way inclined, you could have something smaller win. Race 4, number 5, Jingling Jules, because this horse is actually going okay and does have some gate speed. So if he could find the right position, he could be competitive.
So we should have a Richie bet?
It's a less than Richie bet.
Right, less.
So instead of like 20 by 80,
bet.
40 by 60, it's like 2 by 98.
2 by 98. Okay.
Jeez. Okay.
2 by 98. Gamble responsibly, but 2 by 98.
Yep. And then race 6, number 4, Peradua ad Astra. I want to mention this one because Chris Folk, I was talking to him in the parade ring before, must have been the last or the second last on Tuesday, and he said, I haven't really got anything on Friday, but he said, Peradua ad Astra, Bunbury Saturday, it's the one. So I'm backing you in, Chris. Race 6, number 4.
Race 6, number 4 in Bunbury. There's a big
Plenty
push.
of ability.
Big push.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Pinjarra.
Are you going to go Pinjarra Gloucester Park?
Yep.
All right. Hit us with Pinjarra. The first race on a big 10-race card. Pinjarra Cup Day is at 12:33. What do you got for us?
Captain Paprika probably should have qualified for the sales final, but he just got knocked over on the home turn and he galloped as a consequence. He's drawn the inside of the second row on Monday, but given the better 2-year-olds are going around on Friday, it's an easier assignment, and he's going to take a lot of holding out. Race 1, number 8, Captain Paprika, the Sergeant Spice.
Okay.
Race 2 at Pinjarra, number 7, Cabochon. Not sure what price we'll get, but this is actually a pretty nice horse. I like him quite a bit. He's a nice, imposing type, and he showed a lot of ability in his couple of runs back toward the end of last year. So expect him to go on with the job. He'll win better races than this. Race 2, number 7. Race 3, number 1, Soho Confidential. Finally looks like this horse might have turned a bit of a corner given that trial and then that performance last Tuesday at Gloucester Park where he did the work in the breeze and boxed on well to run second. Drawn 1, easier race on Monday, looks hard to beat. Race 3, number 1. And then the Cup. I don't know what to do with this race, so I'm throwing it open to the gallery. What's your selection? And I'd Well, you can tip 10 or 11, but you better give me a good reason.
Tell you what, Ronaldo was fantastic first up. He was really good. I'd probably with Ideal Agent.
Okay.
For me, I think he might find the front and be hard to beat.
Certainly a very interesting front row, that's for sure. Penny Tiger, the danger if they go hard and gets to settle back on the fence there. We know he's got a great sprint, can be very hard to beat. I think the Minstrel could be pretty hard to beat, but I am going to stick with Magnificent Storm.
There you go. Okay.
I'd probably stick with Storm as well, just on class. Like, you can't ignore him.
Yeah, he's just a class animal.
He's just a good horse.
And nothing against any other horse in the field, but he is a class horse. But some of the others are in great form. Minstrel,
great race.
Ideal Agent, Penny Tiger.
Which way are you going? You're going
Storm.
Storm. Okay.
I don't know if there's a reason behind Denny on Minstrel, Dylan on Ideal Agent, because previously this preparation has been the other way around. Denny's been driving Ideal Agent, and I was getting the impression that Minstrel might have been Dylan's drive heading forward, given he drove that horse last start, but they've come out the other way around, and the barriers are the other way around, so it's a peculiar thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I've opted for Ideal Agent, I think, the way he's going. Just going to be hard to beat.
Yep.
Is that Pinjarra done?
Yes.
And Tuesday, Gloucester Park. We've got 9 races. The first at 4:17. What do you got for us?
Doing a multi. Race 2, number 1, Flight of Fame. She actually closed off really well last Tuesday at Gloucester Park from back in the field. They only sprinted the last couple of hundred, and she was making good progress, draws the pole, gate speed, looks the leader, looks the winner. And then I'm putting that into race 5, number 1, Rockaball. He deserves another win. He's going well. Gets his draw. Race 5, number 1, Rockaball, should be collecting. And another one I just wanted to touch on. He's never been better in race 6. Where's this horse at? Like, he can't lose on ability. But yeah, I don't know.
He hasn't been great the 2 starts, has he?
No, he was disappointing 2 back, and then although he did a lot of work last start, he was still a shadow of his best.
Yeah, but soon you can pick him up, so it just depends on whether he can turn the corner. All right, that's Gloucester Park on Tuesday. Hayden, thanks once again.
Are we talking about Menangle?
Oh yeah, sorry, Menangle. I forgot to talk about Menangle. Of course, Saturday night, along with Bunbury, we got the Chariots of Fire, the Cordina Chicken Chariots of Fire, and what a race. Don't stop dreaming. I reckon it
was an arrogant win the other night.
Yeah, look, obviously Leap to Fame is the best horse in Australasia.
Yep.
I think this horse is closing second. And I think he's very, very good horse for Mark and Nathan. And Mark's got the drive better, stop dream. But Barry's got a couple in Sooner the Better and Merlin, or It's Merlin.
That was a big run last night.
Yeah,
It's Merlin.
Frankie Ferocious, hasn't he got a turn of speed for Jason Grimson and Cameron Hart? And there's a couple of horses that'll go to the Eureka, I'd imagine, out of this race. You got Better Be the Best, bounce back to form last week. And also Captain's Knock has been thereabouts, and even Rock and Roll Hammer. Rock and Roll Hammer's a New Zealand breed, but he's also a nice horse. And then you've got the sprints leading into the Miracle Mile. We've got the Cordina Sprint, race number 5. We've got, in that race, we've got Ladies in Red, the mare who's going up against the boys, which is, I think, a bit of a shock. I don't think many people thought they'd go that way.
30 starts, Michael, 24 wins,
staggering.
6 seconds.
Yeah, and she's not favourite. Bondi Lockdown, who's looked to regain some form. Hot and Treacherous, who's now in the Jason Grimson stable and looks to improve and is favourite. And Spirit of St. Louis, who is locked in for the Nullarbor in April and heading over here for Luke McCarthy. Jack Callaghan got the drive. And the Allied Express Sprint, we got Can't Find a Better Man for Luke McCarthy. We've also got Better Eclipse in there, which I think is heading to New Zealand for the race with Grins. Mac Da Vinci, geez, he was big in Newcastle. And Hi, My Name is Jeff, another one from the Grimson, who just keeps on rolling along. Really good night. And then you've got
great night of racing.
Heats of the Derby as well.
Yeah, it's a great night.
3 heats of the Derby to finish off the night.
Looking forward to that.
Fantastic. Do you follow the New South Wales form? Well, I shouldn't ask that because how many weeks ago he tipped one in England for the Gallops. He's tipped a dog. And do you follow New South Wales harness?
Yeah, to an extent. I don't actively do form on it or anything.
Where
but
at the Chariots have you got?
Well, I'll be cheering home Frankie Ferocious because one of our devoted listeners, Pike in the Last, he's on it. He's on at odds.
Also we've got to mention the new show on a Monday with Tim Walker, Matthew Young, and Ollie. Ollie County.
Yep.
And first up was really good.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Every Monday, listen to the preview and make sure you follow along.
And they do a bit of a review of Friday night.
They do a review and then preview Pinjarra
and Gloucester Park.
Monday,
it's
Tuesday,
great.
Which is fantastic. This week they had Cam Brown on as well, chatting about a few things. But he's very fast, Frankie Ferocious. His turn of speed at Melton was phenomenal.
I am surprised they bet 250. Don't Stop Dreaming, given the draw. Like I thought he'd be favourite, not co-favourite.
I don't think it mattered the draw for him either. Jeez, he was massive in the Hunter Cup. Coming off the speed, he's very, very good. And hopefully we might see one of the two horses going around in Menangle Saturday night, even locked in for the Nullarbor going forward. We've got one there, Spirit of St. Louis, but yeah. And obviously, with a few of those 4-year-olds will be taking on Never Ending in the Eureka. And congratulations on getting the slot in the Eureka.
Yeah, very happy, Michael. Very happy. Yeah. Looking forward to a big contingent of people going across to support it and watch it.
Yeah, indeed. All right, Hayden, once again, thank you for everything you've done for us and filling in and being part of the show, panelling, pushing all the buttons. Peter, the perfect panel puncher, as they used to say. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for, indeed, your dreams, people coming up to you at the gym, tips in England, thoroughbreds on a Friday night, Meadows dogs on a Saturday night, and everything you added to the show, because you certainly added an extra dimension. And myself and Mort's are thankful for what you've done for us, and we really wish you the best going forward. And it's a great opportunity. We know you're not going to be lost to the racing industry because you're working for the West, and no doubt you're going to be promoting and breaking stories on all 3 codes moving forward.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll still be doing my best to promote all racing as a whole, because we need the unity going forward in a time where racing is facing difficulties and challenges for its future. So I will be definitely trying to promote all 3 codes in unison as much as possible, and we can continue going forward.
Thank you, Hayden. It has been a pleasure. It's more importantly, it's been enjoyable.
Yep.
And yes, certainly want to thank you. The time you filled in, the laughter, the good tips, and certainly the insight. And you will do extremely well in your new role, have no doubt. So thank you very much, Hayden. Much appreciated, and good luck.
No worries, my pleasure. I was just looking to see if I could find something in the UK for you, but
you couldn't find one at the amateurs or something like that over the hurdles?
No, I'll do my point-to-point form at Lochmarnock, and I'll get back to you.
All right, good on you. Thank you, mate. As I said, really appreciate it, and good luck in your next endeavour. Morts, thanks for your time. Been a bit of a long show, again, as always.
We're getting home at normal time, Michael.
Oh, no.
We started 2 hours earlier.
Indeed. All right, mate, good luck tomorrow night. You've got a filly in. And
Winter Strike in the Sales Classic. She's been working really nice. She's a lovely filly.
Winter Wonder.
Winter Wonder.
That's what I meant.
Out of Winter Strike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Winter Wonder, been working well. Lovely filly. Unfortunately drew barrier 9. But anyway, got Madison on board, and she drives
and
well.
You'll be going to Pinjarra for the Pinjarra Cup Monday.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Great race. Terrific race.
Ronaldo tricking again. It does look a fantastic race.
Geez,
aren't they? We're heating up again.
So I got 3 great draws in the weekend: 9, 10, 11.
You'll still win. It doesn't matter. Like, you win everything. Like, honestly.
Looking forward to Pinjarra Cup Day.
Yeah.
Big meeting, big card. Should be not too hot. Weather should be fine. Great place. Public holiday.
Yeah, as well.
Of course.
Yeah,
So get
fantastic.
down
That'd be
there.
a great crowd at
Should be,
Pinjarra.
yeah, be a
Dale
great
and the
crowd.
team, they'll look after you. Make sure you get down there and enjoy all the activities. They'll look after you.
Be a
First
good
race at
day.
12:33. All right. Thanks for your time, Morts. Thanks for everyone for listening. Hope you've stuck around for the whole show. Until next week, it's bye for now.